Second man has been arrested accused of gunning down rapper Mo3 on a Dallas highway.
Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be doing some updates on the Mo3 situation. Now, last week we found out that there was a second suspect that was named in this trial, man, or in this case. Now, the second suspect, Devin Brown, was named, and there wasn't many details. I mean, barely anybody even had a mugshot of the dude. But this weekend, more details came out, and it looks like we got a look of what the suspect looks like, and we also got some more of the information that pertains to this case. Now, some of this is alarming, and it really shows that, man, maybe there is a such thing as getting hypnotized by hatred or rappers getting gunned down in their own hometown. Because obviously, according to this report, Devin Brown and Mo3 and a young lady had a certain arrangement, or there was a certain relationship between the three that looks like, man, turned out not to be so good for Mo3. Now, before I get into the specifics, and man, trust me, you're gonna want to hear all this, do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure we run them likes up, man. We trying to get 1,000 likes on this video. If you don't see 1,000 likes, make sure you hit that like button, and let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about this news report from the Dallas Daily News, or the Dallas Morning News, I should say. Now, this is very interesting, and it goes into detail about some of the specifications in this case. Now, for those of you who've been living under a rock, you don't know what's going on with this Mo3 trial, let me remind you, man. Now, Mo3, a beloved rapper from Dallas, man. He had a lot of beef with a lot of rappers within the industry, within Dallas, I should say. It's not really the whole industry. For some reason, all of his conflicts came from rappers within his hometown. Now, Mo3 lost his life back in November of 2020. It was a tragic month because we also lost King Von. It just looked all bad. Now, there's been a lot of speculation about the shooter. The first suspect came out and he was arrested, and it was Keywan White, and then the second suspect was arrested this weekend. Now, the local Dallas news there, CBS affiliate, they did a news report about it just Saturday. And man, let's play a little bit of that so you can get an understanding of what exactly is going on.
Second man has been arrested accused of gunning down rapper Mo3 on a Dallas highway. 28-year-old Devin Brown was indicted on a murder charge this week. Another man, 22-year-old Kwan Wright, was also indicted on the same charge earlier this year. Back in November, Melvin Noble, also known as Mo3, was driving on 35E near the Dallas Zoo when White approached him with a gun. Police say Noble ran down the highway trying to escape and was chased by White, who fired multiple times, hitting Noble.
Okay, now, as you heard in that news report, they painted a grisly picture of what took place. Now, the CBS News affiliate there in Dallas basically said that Keywan White was the primary shooter in the situation. But according to some of the news sources in a report that just surfaced recently, man, it seems more in depth than that. This wasn't just a random thing, and there was a relationship between Mo3, one of the shooters, and one of the witnesses who we can assume is a young lady that led to this situation according to reports. Now, this is all alleged, and it's definitely according to what they're saying in the news, but I don't see any reason why the police would lie about an admission such as this. Now, let's look at the report exactly. Now, the report starts off by talking about Keywan White being arrested in early December, and that there was an arrest affidavit, and it said that a witness had identified him as the gunman. Now, at the time of his arrest, federal authorities said that he had also faced a gun charge, and that Brown, referred to as a known affiliate in the arrest, faced gun charges and, substance charges or whatnot. Now, authorities did not publicly link Brown and Noble's slaying at the time, and White denied knowing him. So it looks like, according to the reports here, that Keywan White denied initially knowing Devin Brown. So he's saying that he didn't even know him when he was initially interviewed by police or whatnot. So, I mean, I guess from a stand-up point, you could say that, you know what I mean? But then it goes on to say that Brown was already in custody by the time that Keywan White was arrested, having been apprehended on the 19th of November on federal charges. Now, according to the affidavit, he told police, this is the important part, that he was aware that Noble was dating a known witness, somebody who's already a witness in the case, who we can assume at this time is a young lady. and was upset over a video posted on Facebook that involved Noble but denied playing a role in the shooting. So let's pause right there. So he already admitted to authorities, and the authorities have no reason to lie to the news outlets, that he was already upset and mad at Mo3 for the fact that he had a relationship with a young lady that he knew, and about a video that he posted on Facebook. You know what I mean? So this is crazy. So they don't go into detail. They said a video posted on Facebook that involved Noble, but they don't say if it was posted by the young lady or if the video was posted by Mo3. Now, police said that cell phone data placed White near the apartment where Noble stayed the night before the slaying, and then showed him on a similar to Noble leading up to the shooting. So basically, they pinged their cell phones. So these guys, I don't know who, okay, maybe they've never even watched the movie or anything, but they had their cell phones with them when they allegedly carried out this hit, right? And which is, okay, I don't even have enough time to go into how stupid that is, right? But according to this report, they had their cell phones on them, and they pinged the cell phones at the same tower by where Mo3 slept that night. So while Mo3 is sleeping in the apartments, which I can assume wasn't his apartment according to all the reports, and he was visiting with a young lady according to everything we've seen, these dudes were staying outside the whole night. So, and it goes on to say that phone records also showed numerous calls between Brown and White on the days the affidavit says. So on those days, that the affidavit says. So basically, they're saying that they already have the phone calls showing between Keywan White and Devin Brown. They already pinged White's cell phone near the apartment, waiting outside of where Mo3 was staying the night before. I mean, these dudes, man, it sounds like they goose is cooked, man. I hate to use that analogy, but I mean, for all it's worth, with all that information, man, sometimes that less than that is enough to convict somebody. Let's also not forget the fact that the indictment has been closed. So somebody might allegedly be talking in the case. You know what I mean? This is a sealed indictment. And usually, man, based on any type of information you look up, you can look it up right now. I'm not just putting stuff out there. When an indictment is sealed as such, man, it's because they're trying to protect some witnesses or somebody involved in the case. Now, that doesn't mean that it's one of the people who are the defendants in this case, but it could be somebody who's a witness or something like that of that nature. Now, the story also goes on to talk about White's storied history of, being in, he's got these open convictions on the state level as well as federal level. So it's looking bad for Keywan White and Devin Brown regardless, because they both have both state and federal charges that they got held against them, along with this murder charge, which they're both being suspects. Now, they're saying that this was a double or a dual action situation or with two people, and that kind of makes sense when you really think about it and, and you put it into context about Mo3 getting out and running. But man, if this isn't some revelations coming from these news reports, I don't know what is. And I had called it on the last video. I said as the information comes out, it's going to be more and more revealing, and we'll get a clear and cut idea of what went down. And it looks like jealousy played a large part in what this situation is if all of this information pans out. Now, with that, man, I'd just like to say, once again, rest in peace, Mo3, always. But, what do you guys think about these new revelations that came out in the case, man? What do you think about the fact that Devin Brown went on record with the police, allegedly, and said that he was upset that Mo3 had been, associating with somebody who's a witness, who we can assume is a young lady, and the fact that they already pinged the cell phones by the apartment where he was at and by where the crime took place. I mean, what else do you need? Now, with that, this has been your boy, Big Man. Please do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this on content. And we out of here. Peace. And if you made it to this part of the video, make sure you hit that like button and help me run them likes up. All right, peace.